What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the all-new 2025 Toyota Camry. This one is an SE finished in ice cap and the MSRP is just $33,700. That honestly is an insanely affordable price tag, especially for all the features you're gonna see in this SE. So let's go ahead and pop the hood. One thing kind of funny, the hood is really heavy. I'm not expecting that on a small car. Now, new for 2025, this only comes with a hybrid drivetrain. So this has a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder with the hybrid. If you get a front wheel drive version like the one we're looking at today, net horsepower is 225. If you have the all-wheel drive version, net horsepower is 232. It has the eCVT transmission. And for gas mileage, you're looking at 48 miles per gallon in the city with 47 on the highway, all running on a 13-gallon fuel tank and weighing in around 3,600 pounds. So it definitely seems like a very economical car. So for the new styling, I love the new front end. I think it looks super sporty. I like how the body kind of cuts into these headlights. Now this one doesn't get the cool like DRL right here, it just has a halogen bulb back there. However, we do have the LED light right there. There is a nice LED trim piece down here though, so you get a little bit of a blend. You can also see the headlight cutting towards the upper grille, get a little bit of openings. Then this lower grille is finished in nice gray color to allow more cooling to the engine. I also like how this trim level has that same gray color for the side pieces to give it a pretty sporty look. And then there's nice sharp body lines throughout the hood that cut towards the upper portion of the bumper. So I like the modern style, it looks pretty sporty. We also have a nice set of gloss black wheels. They're 18-inch diameter with somewhat of a multi-spoke, split-spoke design. Sharp body line throughout the front fender, and then a really sharp one through the door handles. Got more contours throughout the doors, and then an aggressive side skirt as well. You got body-colored mirror caps, all black trim surrounding the windows. You got body-colored on the doors, and then you can just see a nice smooth roof. Side profile doesn't really look all too much different from previous generations, so it carries the same overall shape, very similar proportions. And then coming around to the rear, I love that sharp body line cutting all the way to the new taillights. So the rear bumper, once again, nicely updated like we see up front. Still got that halogen bulb for this trim level, however, the red housing looks good cutting into that trunk. Got a spoiler up on top in body colored, blacked out Camry badge with just chrome on the Toyota SE and the hybrid logo. You got more of this gray black color for the rear diffuser and then an exhaust tip on the driver's side. So it looks really good. I think the updates look fantastic. Really good looking Camry for sure. For the trunk, you can just hold down the button. It'll automatically pop open, spring assisted. You have 15.1 cubic feet of cargo space in here. And honestly, it looks super roomy. You got a lot of cutouts on the left and the right side, and then manual pull tabs to pop that second seat. So if we go ahead, enter through here, we can pull these down and you're going to see all the storage space you get. These fold down nice and flat. You got a pretty good opening into the cargo area as well. And then I look from this angle, you can see how much space you're going to get. Manually close it down. The interior on this one is going to have a combination of the SofTex material and then the Sport Fabric. So you're going to see the fabric two-tone on these. Now for the rear doors, you just get some hard plastic throughout the side, a nice trim piece to your door handle, and then a little bit of rubber padding on the armrest, a little bit of a grab handle and more storage. And then you can see the white stitching throughout it. I really like the white striping, and then the two-tone with some of the fabric throughout the seats. Center seat, we can pull this down. We have armrest and 2 cup holders, and then there are climate vents, plugs, and storage behind these seats. Now at 5'11", hopping in here with the driver's seat at my height, this is a pretty nice sedan. Plenty of legroom and knee room, really good headroom, a couple inches above my head, and quite a lot of glass to make you feel nice and open in here. Good armrests as well, they're padded enough, and really not all that difficult getting in and out. Moving on to the driver's seat, you have the smart key where you can lock and unlock it from the door. And then on the driver's and passenger doors, you do have a soft touch material up here, and then the cool fabric throughout the door insert. So this definitely looks a little bit more premium than the back seat. Same rubber padding for your armrest, good grab handle with a little storage, all your controls, and then the same release handle with the trim. You're gonna see power controls for these seats, lumbar support as well, and then the same material. I really like the SofTex, and of course the fabric looks really sporty. So really nice for 33 grand. This is a pretty cool interior. Now hopping in, there's also more of that fabric here. You have controls, trunk release, fuel cap, automatic high beams. And then if we fire it up, being a hybrid, you're not necessarily going to hear anything because you have the EV system and everything. But taking a look at the steering wheel, you do have the leather trim steering wheel along with the shifter. There's white stitching, nice gloss black trim down below. You have Bluetooth and audio controls on the left, a control panel for the center screen, and then cruise controls all on the right side. So if we go ahead and take a look at some of the controls here, I can scroll through all sorts of safety information, and then scrolling up and down, you can see a lot of different settings you're able to go through. You have a nice digital readout as well for your power and eco, fuel and temperature. Now, even though we have a CVT transmission, there are paddle shifters, so it'll program in some gears depending on how you need to drive the car. We also have a sport mode down here with a plus and minus. Stock on the right for windshield wipers, turn signals and headlights on the left. One of your air vents, and then a soft touch rubber material for the whole dash. Now, I like this screen setup, how it flows into these slats, and they're all integrated into the air vent, so it looks really cool. You also have more of this fabric material throughout the dashboard that blends into the door, and then it cuts down with another trim piece. Now this screen does all the same functions that the larger screen will do. It's just a little bit smaller, 7 or 8 inches. And then you can see just some basic information that will pop up. You can have climate, trip information, and things like that. So pretty nice screen, it's simple, but basically what you're gonna see in all the other Toyotas. And then for the backup camera, just a nice camera as you would expect. You can make it a wide angle. And then we have climate controls right here. You have your toggles for fan speed and temperature, your zones, air conditioning, defrost, air vents down below. And you're gonna see 3 different plugs, wireless charging, storage in the center with cup holders, and actual drive mode. So we have an EV mode depending on how much you accelerate or how the battery's charged. And then drive modes here, we have our eco, normal, and then a sport mode. You can also see the electronic park and brake and some gunmetal trim, some padding for your armrests, and then storage down below, and then a nice size glove box. One last look at the interior. Really nice interior, quite honestly. I was in the XSE recently, which has genuine leather. This is just as cool, even with the synthetic materials, a little bit more sporty vibe for less money. So pretty cool options Camry is giving you. Dome lights up above and kind of a double bubble roof like in a Supra. You also have some storage here for sunglasses, dome lights, and then you have garage door buttons underneath the mirror. So setting off now in the new Camry, if I hit EV mode, you can drive it, of course, in EV pretty quiet until the speed range is exceeded or you floor it too much. But in sport mode, honestly, this thing is pretty peppy. Like, it's not a fast car, but because you have that EV motor, the electronics, you know, helping you pull along with the pretty decent sized 4-cylinder, you give it some throttle and you really are in a pretty peppy car. You can get up to speed without really thinking, which is quite nice. Now, some normal things, visibility, as you would expect, it's really easy to see around. The mirrors all do a great job. Over your right shoulder, those headrests are fixed, so that is the one maybe slight drawback. You can kind of see them in the rear view as well, so just the side ones are a little on the big side. I wish you could fold them down or something. Other than that though, I mean, it's a pretty smooth driving car. I love the leather on the steering wheel, it feels nice. These seats are really padded too. It's just a comfortable place. And of course, with all the controls and everything, I mean, you can get the seat in a really good position. At my height, I have no issues. I feel really comfortable in here. I like the materials too, even though they are a synthetic material. I think it looks really good, it feels nice. Turning circle is pretty tight on this as well. And it's just a really easy car to drive. The EV system really helps though. Now, being front wheel drive, I don't know if you could hear it around that turn, the front tires can squeal just a little bit if you're giving it some throttle. So of course, all-wheel drive, you can obviously avoid that. Now, the regenerative braking in the sport mode, you can feel just a little bit. It's not crazy. I don't believe there's really any way to adjust it. If we go into EV mode, or actually eco mode, you know, if I slow down a little bit, it's nothing aggressive. It's just slightly helping you slow down. So that's what you're gonna feel with that. The interior ergonomics are also really good. I like the fact that climate is right here. It's so easy to use, and even with the smaller screen versus the bigger screen, like, I have no complaints. It's just easy and simple. Armrests are also in a really good spot. It's padded, and it's pretty quiet. It's not obviously a luxury car, so it's not that refined, but this doesn't feel like a cheap economy car. And for 33 grand, this seems really affordable for a really nice car. I'm honestly pleasantly surprised and impressed just driving around. It's a nice place to be. It feels like it offers you quite a lot of options and features, and the driving characteristics is what you would expect. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like a pretty solidly built car. You're not really feeling any bumps or anything rattling or anything like that. So I feel like they've done a good job making sure this is going to be a true Toyota in reliability and just the solid feeling. And I like how it's not just plastic everywhere. I mean, the fabric on the dash, the different colors, the soft touch material, maybe Toyota is finally getting there with less plastics and more nicer materials. And again, at this price point, this isn't gonna be, you know, $1 million car or anything, but you're getting nice enough materials to where it doesn't just feel like plastic. So I'm enjoying just cruising in here. Obviously, gas mileage is incredibly good with this car. So really no complaints as a driver. I feel like it drives smooth, comfortable, it's quick enough, the brakes work, the steering also. There's enough feedback to where it's got a little bit of weight in it. It's not just a robot steering. So I really like it a lot. I feel like it's just a good all-around daily driver, commuter car. Can't really complain with the way this car drives.